Hello traders, hello everyone, my name is Gregor and welcome to our new episode of Surfing the Elliott Waves, where I'll look at some of the most interesting developments for this week. This video has been brought to you by Orbex. I will cover S&P 500, EURAUD, cable, Aussie and crude oil. Now firstly, let's take a look at the S&P 500. What is going on here? Well, we have seen a major reversal, not a major one, but still very important reversal here from these September highs. It looks like a very aggressive, impulsive sell-off that took us below this trend line support connected from July 30th. So if this trend line is broken, I think that we are now stepping into a pause mode, meaning that I'm tracking a corrective setback. Now, corrections are usually made by three waves, simple corrections such as A, B, C structure. And looks like this can be wave A, and this whole price action that we are observing for the last few days could be part of this ongoing wave B. Corrections sometimes can be very tricky and very hard to identify when they end. But still, if you look at the personality of this move, then we could assume that this higher degree drop for a wave C down can still occur in the upcoming days. Now, the first resistance is at 33.50, and then you have at the 33.85. That's the zone where I would pay a lot of attention on. I mean, if we are starting to shifting around here, then maybe we'll see more weakness. Tomorrow is the FOMC day, and probably that's the very important catalyst which could actually limit the upside here. Now, if we see a risk off mode here into this drop for a wave C, then US dollar, as you know, could continue to the upside. Now, firstly, let's take a look on the Aussie then, because I think that even here we could be stepping in this corrective movement that is incomplete. I'm tracking this wave 4. Now, wave 4 will in a lot of cases retrace back to the area of a former wave 4 of a 1 or maybe 2 lesser degrees. So that's the first support, and then you have here another support down there. Okay, so I still think that this region can be retested, and the reason is also because on this intraday chart, what we see is a quite sharp drop here, reversal from the highs, and looks like that now we have only 3 wave rise. Now, I'm not sure if this wave C will finish here, but the very important resistance is definitely up there. Okay, so if we see this rise into this zone, just be aware of potential drop. Now, if we see 5 waves down, then you know that bears will still strong, and in such case I would focus on this zone. So for now, Aussie definitely on the longer term is bullish. I will be looking for more upside, but I just think that this current retracement could take us a little bit lower to test lower supports. Also, another thing that we have to look when tracking Aussie is also this Hang Seng index. We have reversed quite nicely here down to this lower trend line support of this corrective channel here during summer. Then we rise only with 3 waves, and then we have this breakdown. And looks like that now we could be actually seeing more weakness. So if this market is going to see more weakness, then you know that Aussie could drop from the resistance. Also, I see copper as well in a 5th wave here, which could also help limit the upside on Aussie. Now let's take a look also on cable. Now cable is coming to the downside because of Brexit issues, and what we see is a very important reversal below this trend line support of this corrective channel. So it looks like that we could be turning bearish here, but nothing moves in straight line. We see an impulsive sell-off, so we could be waiting now for a wave B corrective rise. Ideal resistance in such case would be around 1.300 psychological level or 50 pips higher, because there you will have this former swing low, and as well as this wave 4 resistance of a lower degree. So this zone I think could be very interesting for a new sell-off, especially if the rise into this zone will be seen very slow, very choppy, overlapping, meaning it will have a corrective characteristics. Okay, now let's take a look also on crude oil. Now, crude oil is definitely a very important factor whenever we are observing the risk-off mode. And what we see here on this daily chart is a completed 5-wave rise with an ending diagonal here at the top of this wave 5. So actually this price action from August warned us that we could potentially see lower prices, and so far this is proved to be correct. We are seeing a very aggressive sell-off, which is not a surprise because ending diagonals tend to be very slow in a rising market, and when volume and momentum will again pick up, well, you will see a sharp reversal against the previous movement. And whenever ending diagonal is finished, well, you can expect that the price will retrace back to the starting point of this ending diagonal, which was actually here at 34.60. So it looks like that there is room for more weakness, and as I said, also a drop was clearly impulsive here, so maybe we get a rally here in the next couple of days back towards 39, maybe even $40 per barrel, and then watch out for potential resistance up into this zone and a new sell-off. And of course, whenever this comes in play for lower prices into wave C, well, that's when US dollar again could find some bid, but don't forget that I'm observing here a corrective price reversal from the highs. Okay, I'm not turning aggressively bearish. I just think that this is the price action that tells us that we are in the middle of this pullback, and that sooner or later we could resume again back to the upside, ideally towards the end of this year, after we touch maybe $30 per barrel, which I think it's quite attractive support zone. Also, let's take a look at the Euro-AUSD. Now, Euro-AUSD is now sideways. Why sideways? Well, this is very important pair whenever you track risk on, risk off moves. Okay, so if you see a risk on sentiment, meaning stocks, whenever stocks will rise, well, traders will be more interested in commodity currencies such as AUSD, and that's why this could perform much better than euro, and that's why I see falling euro-AUSD rate. In the opposite side, well, whenever you see risk off mode, well, that's when actually euro-AUSD could move either to the upside or maybe stay sideways. And what we see at the moment when stocks move to the downside in the last 2 weeks or so, well, euro-AUSD is moving sideways here. So I think that this pair could actually trapped in this consolidation until we see potential base support on stocks. But from an Elliott wave perspective, I think that this could be a very interesting pair on the short side after, as I said, stocks potentially bottoms and wave 4 completes a triangle here. So looking at the subdivisions here of this euro-AUSD, well, that's a wave A, you have a wave B, you have a wave C, wave D. It looks like that we are now making wave E. Now, wave E rise has an ideal resistance at a 61.8% projection of wave C measured from end of wave D. So that's the zone, textbook zone, where it could limit the upside. Oh, and of course at the upper side of this triangle range, at this trend line. So I think that this is still possible to see slightly more upside, but then let's be aware of potential new reversal down, maybe later this month. Okay, I will definitely have a very close eye on this market. Okay, traders, thank you very much for your attention. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and talk to you again next week. Bye.